to get us rocking and rolling with Masters Tour Dalaran, Glory and ETC God of Metal find a way to shred through Nikos Fass's defenses. You'd think that being at 23 with a scrap golem would be enough of a wall, but like a rolling stone, Glory breaks on through to the other side and continues his stairway to 7 and 2 Swiss score.
I think this is a relief for Glory to see, honestly, just the fact that N'Zoth is already out of the way, and he has so easy of a way to deal with this.
Yep. In fact, it's going to work in his favor, because he also gets to use it to push damage. I don't think so.
No, yeah.
Rekhvam's going to gain armor.
Here for a good time.
It's a lot of damage though, especially since the Tent Trasher is essentially pushing 7 here with the ETC.
Wait.
And I think that's... it is! Oh my goodness! Okay, I don't know if Glory counted that fast. Whether or not he did though, it was good recognition to just cash in with ETC there. Say even if Nikos has had another 10 armor.
Oh, you want an encore? Well, lucky for you, Mordresh and the Pingers are here to bring the house down. Kranich is talking about minion generation when Font of Power gives him his game plan in a box. After Fallen Hero and Reckless Apprentice have the crowd a little too warmed up, Mordresh FireEye brings the noise.
5-mana Mask is perfect, because even if nothing is found here off the remainder of the refreshing spring water, he will refresh all the way back up to that 5 mana to be able to likely clear the majority of this board.
4 minions on the board start with Runarb face. It's just a given.
It just costs 0. Like, what else are you going to do? You just have the rest of the turn cleared up with your Fallen Hero Reckless Apprentice anyway. Like, how else are we going to get this Mordresh juiced if we don't do this play this turn, Gia? Answer me that.
I just said it was correct to start with it face. I don't know why you're antagonizing me here.
Flame Strike outs, that kind of thing from his opponent, but now we get the news as to whether the fully juiced Mordresh, it's yellow, Gia! Boom! Take 10, idiot!
Oh, that animation is so good.
Okay, enough bad music puns, I promise. Moving swiftly on to one of the few times we saw Shuemu lose this weekend, falling at the hands of Monsanto in a very cleverly played rogue game. By discovering a ring toss, Monsanto knows he will get rogue secrets offered, opening up the possibility for shenanigans to delete Shuemu's entire win condition. And even though he doesn't get a key combo piece, just removing the second Immolation Aura is enough for Monsanto to keep board control all game and clutch out Game 5.
Yeah, it's going for it.
Go for it. Okay.
Dirty tricks.
Plagiarize is interesting too, but I don't think that's exactly what he's looking for.
Shenanigans!
Oh, shenanigans, let's do it!
It's the thing. I literally meant that card.
Let's see. What Shuemu gets?
What's the banana?
Immolation Aura?
Yeah, that's not a huge... Well, not huge, but definitely relevant in terms of Shuemu's toolkit, because that's a very, very useful card to get rid of a big board from Monsanto. But doesn't hit the board buff again. That's really unlucky.
Yeah, it's going to clear off the board. Or clear off as much as he can while pushing some damage. It is. I can't help but feel maybe he ran out of time. He queued up so many different actions in the last few seconds. Looks like he did get the room door buff.
If Shuemu had gone in the Skull instead of having to go Spectral into Skull, this could have been a very, very different story.
It was another incredibly impressive performance from our previous winner Gabi, getting back-to-back top 8s, but this time he finally met his match in finalist Omega Zero. By foregoing a very juicy-looking Flame Strike, Omega Zero telegraphs to Gabi that he has no answer to a wide board, and Gabi makes the probably correct but still ultimately losing play of throwing everything onto the board to be put through the fire and flame... No, sorry, not doing that anymore.
Okay, so the Flame Strike is really good for Omega Zero here.
Yeah.
He's not playing it? Really?
Whoa, okay.
Really?
He wants
Okay.
all value. I'm really surprised.
I'm shocked. He doesn't have that much health to work with
I mean,
prior to Prize, so it's still not that good, right?
and you know what's strange about this is that the Flame Strike was held, but he knows 3 of Gabi's 4 cards are 1/1s. So, like, what would you even expect the refill to be at that point, right? It's like, okay, you play 3 1/1s after the Flame Strike, fine. I don't know, I'm really surprised at this.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, especially since Gabi took the trade into the Octobot, I thought he might just keep the health on his 7/5, which means that, you know, technically Omega Zero could have still just Flame Struck and traded it. So, not a very big deal in the end there. But now Gabi is going to go in with the Dark Moon Riders. Like, if I were Gabi here, I'd assume that that card that Omega Zero generated is not Flame Strike because the previous board didn't get Flame Struck. But Gabi's about to get completely blown up here.
Was this the bait all along?
Maybe it was!
Even a self-Alex Straza, if he feels like he needs it, right? Will stabilize him, in at least health-wise.
Yeah, truly will. And that means that Gabi needs specifically Troublemaker or Watley here. I think anything else is not quite good enough. Maybe Alex gets the trick.
Yeah, I'd chuck Alex in the mix for that one, but that's about it.
And that top deck is the worst possible one. He went in with the Riders last turn saying that there was no more time to wait for conditioning.
Why do bad things happen to good players? Rekhvam was playing a gorgeous game of Rush Warrior against Shuemu's OTK Demon Hunter. And because of Shuemu's interesting mulligan, Rekhvam has a great read on a removal card locking in Skull of Gul'dan from the outcast position. To exploit this, he holds on to Rakara for as long as possible, leading up to a brutal turn 5 that further punishes Shuemu for playing his Skull. Sadly for Rekhvam, however, Shuemu's raw power cannot be contested by mere good Hearthstone plays, and after a perfect Skull, he wins next turn and ultimately takes the crown. But a good play from Rekhvam nonetheless.
Because they don't have any cards that straight up say destroy a minion. It's pretty much just accumulating a lot of damage and multiplying it.
Smart pick. It's a smart play from Rekhvam here, I think. And then I think that puts him on keeps like Chaos Strike, I-Beam, those kind of things, like easily usable cards in that position, which ended up taking Rekhvam away from the Rakara that he has in hand.
And that's the key to disrupting this Demon Hunter, even if you don't have a card that deliberately states on the card text saying that you disrupt your opponent. Having this timing window is just as effective sometimes.
And you saw the reaction. He's got his reward, right? He got I-Beam used because Shuemu has to use it because he wants to coin Skull next turn. So by being patient and waiting it out, you saw the reaction. You saw the nod come out from Rekhvam. He's won a very small, and it might look inconsequential, battle, like game of chicken between the two players there. But I think it's a really big deal because now he gets to play this big power turn with the Rakara into a turn that disrupts the Skull instead of into a turn in the early game where it would have just got smacked by an I-Beam.
Remember, they get stronger with the Rakara staying on the board too. So if you end up going for a Skull and you can't remove that Rakara, it's going to hurt a lot.
It is. At the same time, Skull is Skull. He does have a Talented Alchemist in hand, so if he's able to get his hands on Immolation Aura, he should be feeling pretty confident. That's not ideal. Hang on, no, that's incredible. I was going to say that's not ideal, but then rapidly changed my mind as the third card appeared. Yeah, he's in for a surprise. The fact that this is happening on turn 6 without a 1-mana Il'gynoth is probably the most tilting part of this. And yeah, Rekhvam raises his eyebrows. He gives the smile. The smile breaks into a genuine laugh in the end. And that, I believe, is going to be 36 initial damage plus whatever else Shuemu wants to throw out here. So that is a disgusting turn 6 lethal, as I was talking about earlier.